Hey friends, happy Monday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor and I share these What's for Dinner videos every week to hopefully give you some new meal ideas, some motivation to cook more for your family, and maybe like some meal inspiration. So this week I am still on the trying not to use the oven because it's just been so hot. So mostly stovetop recipes, air fryer, and crock pot are what I used this week. So let's go ahead and get into it. Friday night, I had not yet gone grocery shopping for the week. I decided not to go until Saturday. So we were just kind of making a meal based on what we had in the house. Decided to make some BLTs. So I did cook the bacon in the oven because that's my favorite way to cook the bacon. And then toasted up some bread. We've got lettuce, tomato, mayo. The kids and Andy like cheese on theirs. And then the kids had some chips with theirs. I was actually eating chips while making dinner, so I didn't have any chips with my dinner. Then we had some fruit and veggies that we had left in the fridge on the side as well. Saturday night, we just had some spaghetti and, of course, some steamed broccoli on the side. That's my family's new favorite thing to have on the side of spaghetti. I just steam it in the microwave, mix in a little bit of butter and Parmesan cheese, freshly grated if I have it, but I didn't have it this night, so I just did the shaky kind in the green bottle, and a little bit of salt and pepper and sometimes garlic powder, and that's it. And that was dinner for Saturday. Sunday, I made a Thanksgiving-inspired meal. I already had stuffing and cranberry sauce in the cabinet, so that's what inspired me to make this. And I knew that Aldi has these rotisserie-flavored turkey breast tenderloins, and they're really good. I've made them before in the past. They're already seasoned, so you don't really have to season it, but I like to add a little bit of the Tony's Creole seasoning on it because that's what I typically season our turkey with at Thanksgiving. So I sprinkled on just a little bit of that, not too much, and then I stuck this in the air fryer on 350 for, I think it took like 25 minutes. You just want to check it at the end and make sure it's cooked all the way through with a little thermometer. So that's what I did, and then I let it rest for like 5 minutes and then sliced it up. Served it with some box stuffing, some gravy, canned green beans, and a can of cranberry sauce. And it really hit the spot. Really tasted like Thanksgiving, and it was very good. Monday, I tried a new recipe for a buffalo chicken pasta in the crock pot. I will have the recipe linked down below for you guys. I think I found this one on Lemon 8. It will be down below if you want exact measurements. I did not measure anything. I had some partially frozen chicken thighs I threw in the crock pot. Then I added in some ranch dressing and Kinder's buffalo sauce, and then salt, pepper, onion, salt, and garlic powder. And then about 4 ounces of whipped cream cheese. It was like half of the container that I had left. And then about a cup of chicken broth. And then I kind of whisked that together a little bit. Then I just popped a lid on this and let it cook on high for about 5 hours. And then at the end, I just went in and shredded this all up. The original recipe wants you to take out the chicken and then put pasta in and cook pasta in the crock pot. I'm iffy on pasta being cooked in the crock pot. I think I've tried it once and it didn't turn out super great. So I just cook my pasta on the stovetop on the side and then mix that in along with a bunch of cheese. And this is so spicy. I use that Kinder's buffalo sauce, as I mentioned, and it's a hot one. I really enjoy it on chicken wings or buffalo chicken tenders. I've been eating that bottle on stuff, but never in a dish. And it was still really spicy even with the ranch and the cream cheese in here. I thought about adding in some blended up cottage cheese. I thought about that earlier in the day and then I forgot about it in the evening. So I didn't end up doing that, but I think that would be really good in here and add another rich creamy element to cut down on the spice factor. But we all loved it. I had my brother over for dinner this night, and he liked it too, and it made a ton of food. So we had it with some salad stuff or fresh veggies for Lily, and I would definitely recommend this recipe. Tuesday night we had fish sandwiches. This was a request from Lily. I bought these wild caught beer battered cod fillets, which I thought I had bought before for fish sandwiches, but I think it turns out I bought these before for fish sandwiches and they were not the right ones. They're too small to put like one of these on a fish sandwich, at least for me and Andy. It was enough for the kids. I just like, kind of cut it in half and maneuvered it on the sandwich, and they each had a little piece on their sandwich. But me and Andy ate 2 of the little fillets each. I thought that these were the bigger ones, and they weren't. I think Aldi only has the bigger ones sometimes. So just like in the future, I should probably buy 2 boxes of these. I think they were by the Gorton's brand at Kroger, I think the last time we did fish sandwiches, and those were really good, and probably actually like a better deal if you can get them on sale like I did that time. But fish sandwiches are super easy. I cooked these in the air fryer for like, I think 12 minutes. And they were done as simple sandwiches. You can also make the tots in the air fryer, which I did. So I just had to like cook in batches instead of using the oven and heating up the whole house. Wednesday night, I tried a new recipe for a lemon chicken pasta that was supposed to take like 30 minutes, and it really was pretty quick and easy. So I'm starting off here with some chicken breasts that are thinly sliced, and I'm seasoning them all over with some salt, pepper, garlic powder, and the zest of 1 large lemon. And I'm doing that all over on both sides. And you're not going to see me do it, but I'm also bringing a large pot of salted water to a boil to cook up 16 ounces of pasta, and I chose to use bow tie pasta. I am doubling the pasta and the sauce for this recipe because I felt like I had a little bit more chicken. My chicken were thin sliced, boneless chicken breasts like already, but I felt like they were kind of thick, and I just felt like we wanted more than 8 ounces of pasta and sauce. So just keep that in mind. The recipe will be linked down below, but I did double the sauce and pasta. So once my chicken was all seasoned, then I heated up some oil and butter in my pan. And then once that was hot, I added in my chicken, and I'm going to start cooking it for about 4 minutes per side. And then once it has cooked for 4 minutes per side, check the temperature. If it's done, remove it from the pan. 3 of these were done, so I removed them, and then the one bigger one in the middle wasn't quite done yet, so I turned the heat down just a little bit and put a lid on this to let that one finish cooking, and then I removed that from the pan as well. Then I'm going to add in a little bit more oil and butter, and then I'm going to add in some red pepper flakes and my minced garlic. I meant to show y'all how to use this little garlic plate. It's really easy. Once you have the garlic peeled, it comes with a little peeler thing too, like the one that you like roll, the little silicone thing. So once the garlic's peeled, then you just like rub it on the plate, and the plate has like ridges in it, and it grates the garlic. And then it comes with this little brush, and you can brush the garlic into whatever dish, and then it's like super easy to clean because it's ceramic and it comes clean really easily. And yeah, I love that little plate. It's linked down below if you want one. So you let the garlic and red pepper flakes cook for 30 seconds to a minute, and then you want to start adding in your wine if you're doing wine. I'm not using wine. I just use chicken broth most of the time when it calls for white wine. So you add in a little bit of that, let it bubble and scrape all the little bits from the bottom of the pan, and then you can add in the rest of the broth, some lemon juice. You can do more lemon zest, but I didn't read that far into the recipe, and I used all the zest on the chicken, so I didn't add any more lemon zest. And then you also want to add in Italian seasoning, and then let that come to a simmer, and I let it simmer for just a couple minutes. And then you can add in your cooked pasta and some Parmesan cheese. Get that all mixed together really well. And then I sliced up that chicken and added that back in, and then just made sure everything was warm through. All that chicken that had been sitting got back warm, and then it was time to eat. I served this with some sliced lemon on the side, and no veggies this night because I just wasn't feeling it. I had planned to do salad but didn't feel like cutting anything up. But this was delicious. I love like lemony pastas. I have another one that I made called lemon chicken pasta toss, but it requires like putting like a like a breading kind of on the chicken, like tossing it in flour. And I just don't always feel like doing this. So this was much simpler and still just as good. Thursday night, we tried another new recipe for some Cajun chicken and cheesy grits. We love shrimp and grits, but when I saw this, I knew I wanted to try it because I had never seen chicken and grits before. It just looked so good. So I'm starting off here with 2 chicken breasts. They were big chicken breasts that I sliced in half horizontally so I could have some thin ones. I have patted them dry and I am seasoning them all over with some salt and pepper. Then in a bowl, I'm going to whisk up 1 egg, and the recipe did not call for seasoning this egg, but if I have learned anything from cooking, it is to season every step of the way. So I did season this egg with a little bit of Cajun seasoning and garlic powder. Whisk that together, and then in a separate bowl I am mixing together my breadcrumbs. I was almost out of panko breadcrumbs, which is what the recipe called for, so I did what I had left of the panko breadcrumbs and then just some plain breadcrumbs, and then 1.5 teaspoons of Cajun seasoning, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, and mix that together. And then I'm going to take my chicken, dip it in the egg, kind of shake it off, make sure I don't have too much, and then dip it in the breadcrumbs, make sure they are coated really well, and just repeat that with every piece of chicken. Then in my large skillet, I am heating up about 3 tablespoons of oil. And then once that's hot, I'm going to add my chicken to the oil and cook it for about 5 minutes per side, or until it's cooked all the way through. While my chicken was cooking, I was working on my grits. I did not make my grits according to the recipe instructions. It wanted you to use stone ground grits, not instant. I use instant grits. It's what I've got all the time on hand. So I made those according to the package directions, and then once they're done, I add in some butter and some milk and a lot of cheese. This is the same way I make it when I make shrimp and grits. That's how I started making them this way, because that's how the shrimp and grits recipe that I make tells me to make them. It's either milk or heavy cream. Usually I don't have heavy cream on hand, so I use milk instead, and they turn out so creamy and so cheesy. So then I just sliced up the chicken and served that on top of the grits. That chicken was seasoned really well, and it was super crispy, and it was so good on top of the grits. I forgot to put hot sauce on top of this. That was one of the things the recipe recommended, and one of the things that looked so good about the recipe was the hot sauce drizzled over the top. I completely forgot. Andy did end up doing that when he got home and ate this, because that's when I had remembered, and he said it was really, really good. So next time I will definitely do hot sauce. But that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that y'all enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave me a thumbs up. Make sure you leave me a smiley face emoji down in the comments to let me know that you made it here all the way to the end. And also let me know in the comments if you plan on making any of the recipes that I mentioned in today's video. I hope y'all have a great week, and I will see y'all on Wednesday for the grocery haul. Bye.